So I'm back. So I just got done voting for the first time ever. And I want to talk about my vote and why I chose to vote for who I did. So this is my first time voting. Before, I'm one of them people who, well, first off, I'm only 30. So I really only been able to vote for three elections. Well, really two, because the Obama election in '08, I was, I think, 17 or 18. So like right at that age. So really the 2016 and the 2020 election was the only two that I was really able to vote for. So it's not like I've been able to vote for a whole bunch of elections regardless. But I never really cared about voting because I'm one of them people who don't think that voting really matters, even though it do, but then it don't because I know about the electoral college, but then if you know your vote still does go towards the electoral college, so it does matter. And I'm in a swing state because I'm in Michigan, so that's what really made me vote because I'm in a swing state. If I wasn't in a swing state, then I probably wouldn't have voted because one vote really not going to change with the majority then already decided. But in the swing state like Michigan, every vote kind of matters and counts. So that's why I chose to finally vote this year. And this is the first time, even though I do believe, like people say, regardless of who the president is, it's not going to directly affect some stuff is going to affect you, but it's not going to really affect how successful you're going to be. Like if you lazy, you're going to continue to be lazy. If you a go getter, you're going to continue to be a go getter. Like certain stuff is not going to change, really. And like most people say, what you vote on locally matters more than anything. But regardless, we know that the president does matter, and it's just something that they hyped up and made people feel like they included in, and it's something that they have to do. So whatever. So I do feel like definitely in my lifetime, but this is one of the most popular probably elections of all time in 2020 and 2016 with Trump. I don't remember it being this popular. Like I'm getting stuff in the mail every day. It's everywhere on every commercial. Like it just this election really been publicized. Definitely, they definitely probably spent the most money ever in campaigning for sure. And then we got two controversial people running. And then this election didn't have crazy stuff that never happened before, like Trump almost getting assassinated twice. Then we had Biden drop out, and then Miss Harris get put up in his place. So this is kind of a weird election because I haven't seen definitely in my lifetime somebody one candidate almost get assassinated, then the other candidate drop out for whatever reason, which reason we know. So because he's too old or they felt like he was gonna lose regardless. So that's why this election has definitely been different. Then we got on one hand another woman running for president and the big debate on what race she is. So making history when it comes to that. Then we know that Donald Trump is probably the most controversial president candidate of all time. So this election really shaped up to be big and probably the biggest election ever. That, like I said, definitely in my lifetime. So um I felt like I had to get out there and vote. And then I felt like this election and what's been going on actually matters to me because getting into why I voted for Donald Trump and why I chose to vote for Donald Trump. Because I always said it was the lesser of two evils, especially with Biden, because Trump is not the perfect candidate, like I put in the title. Like people think that if you vote for Donald Trump, that you just love Trump and you just so pro Trump. Like, no, it's could just be simply that you like Trump more than you like Kamala, or it could be the simple fact that you like Trump policies versus him as a person. Because which I'm about to get into, most people who voted against Trump voted against him because they don't like him, and people tend to vote for people that they like. It's kind of a human thing, but then at the same time, that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to vote for the best candidate who has the best policies, not who you like individually as a person. Because analogy is, let's say you got two managers or supervisor. One of them you like you because we This always happen at jobs. It's always the cool manager, then the manager that everybody hates. So typically the cool manager is the one that let people do whatever they want to do, show up late, leave early, slack around. So everybody like them and they engage in and talk to you like you they friend. So that's the good manager people typically like. And people usually hate the strict manager, the one that makes you be on time, the one that makes you follow and go by the book. That's the manager that people usually hate. But what comes with that, we know usually the manager that's the nice manager that everybody like, they usually the ones that's not handling stuff like the way they're supposed to be. Like, you know, they're the ones that's not getting the job done, not going by the rule book, might be having the company slip, you know, letting people get away with stuff they shouldn't be getting away with, which set a bad precedent. For example, let's say that it's a supervisor of a fast food restaurant and he could be letting the line get long, the drive-through line get long. He could not have the proper staff because he's so people feel more comfortable calling off or showing up late when he's the manager because he's the cool manager. But then that affects the business and how the business is run to where you can start losing money. Like I said, the line can end up being too long or the place not clean like it's supposed to be. It's a lot that comes with that versus the strict manager usually is the one that has the business running the way it's supposed to. Everything is on time and done by the book. So it's good and bad when it comes to, you know, that. But most people tend to look at the good manager, but the good manager might not be the best one for business if you're trying to get stuff done. So that's how I look at it when it comes to um choosing somebody that you like versus somebody that you don't like, you know, just going by the personality. And that's what I feel like this election, more so than any other election, is really based on that. So, why I voted for Trump? And I already kind of made a video about why you shouldn't be voting Democrat. I'm gonna put that at the end of this video. Y'all can watch when I really broke it down. But basically, I look at it like this. One, like I said, the most important thing should be policy because most people who voting for Harris, it's because they just don't like Trump as a person more so than her policies and who she is. So me being a smart and a logical person, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to vote for somebody just because I like them or because I do feel like, you know, Kamala, she does come across nicer and, you know, she comes across as a nice person and she tries to relate to everybody, the typical Democrat. Like she's more approachable. What's the word? She, not as blunt and straightforward. So a lot of people like her because she just seems more nicer than Donald Trump is. But to me, I look at that as a sign of fake too. That's what I always notice is that I respect people who blunt and straightforward and that tells you straight up than somebody who's sneaky and be trying to play around. And everybody says they like that. That's what I hate. Everybody says they want somebody to be blunt and straightforward, but when they blunt and straightforward, you can't handle it and you use them against them. That, you know, especially women. Sorry to say, we ain't gonna turn this into a red pill or a woman you know, about sexes and stuff, but typically it's women, because we always say that women like to be lied to, women like to feel good. You can't tell, like a man, we know you can't tell a woman the truth that, like, for example, oh, I want other women because women will say that they want the truth, but then when you tell them the truth, they can't handle it. But they okay with living a lie and believing a lie. So that's what it typically happens a lot with women, and that's probably why a lot of women is voting for Miss Harris. On top of her being a woman, also, which I'm gonna get into. Um, so people look at it like because they don't like Trump personality. I respect being blunt and straightforward. Now, a lot of stuff